Should you quit your job? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that if you're watching a video titled "Should you quit your job?" then it's definitely a possibility that you might want to quit your job. All joking aside, this is a very serious question that a lot of people have, and it's very intimidating to even contemplate the notion of taking the big leap and leaving the job that you've been perhaps for years or even decades have been well established in, and with a length of time doing the same thing comes along with it a lot of fear would certainly arise in the idea of not having that security blanket. So that's why people like me are making videos like this, because I once felt that way. I was very well established in a job, in a home, a neighborhood, and my life at the age of 23 looked pretty much mapped out for me. And yet there was this underlying discontentment that eventually grew and grew like a weed, and it started to drive me crazy. And then I felt almost pushed, almost like I had to get out of there. I had to quit my job. I wanted to leave my neighborhood. I wanted to leave everything behind. And I didn't exactly know why on a logical level, but I felt the internal urge, almost like something was nudging me to take that leap. And that's why I created this video, to remind you that even though your mind doesn't always understand how things are going to take place and unfold, it's still, in my experience, very wise to listen to that inner nudging, because it does know best. It does see from the mountaintop opposed to the valley, so to speak. And it, in my experience, and just my observation of a lot of other people who follow their intuition, it can be trusted. So a little facetious, a little funny story that I'm going to tell that might give you a little bit of an insight whether you should personally quit your job or not. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but every time at the doctor, I notice that the receptionists are always fucking bitches. They're always rude, miserable fucks. And I try to look beyond that, but that usually that's the way I would describe them. And my wife is pregnant. We were going to the doctors, and my most recent visit there, it was the same. However, the funny thing is, we were the last patient, so when we were leaving, I was walking out, and I would swear that there was like 3 new women in there, because they were the most bubbly. Their eyes were lit up. They looked just beaming with joy and happiness and zest, and they were talking, and I realized it's because they're about to get the fuck out of there. So if you have a job that you just count the minutes until you're done for the weekend, and you dread the moments that lead up to you going in, and that's probably a good sign, because there's no reason for you to be miserable. There's no point of having a job that makes you that unhappy to where you just cannot wait to get the fuck out of there. Think about it. Am I right? That's the choice for you to make. But that's my little test. If you find yourself mentally longing for the future, longing for the weekend, longing for your next vacation, then that's probably a good sign that you don't like your job. I love my job. I didn't mind the job I had before, but I wanted something even better. And even though it was very scary to go and try to attain it, I still did it, and I'm very thankful for it, because now, here, this is my office. My house. My little house. This is my office. I work from my computer. I work on my own schedule. I don't have to be anywhere at any particular time. I don't have appointments, generally speaking, that I have to maintain. I get to spend tons of time with my family, and basically to just do whatever I want. I longed for that freedom. I did not like personally being held down by having to go into work on Monday and having to wait for a vacation. I like to be able to just kind of slip in and out as I please from place to place in my life. And that sounds like some kind of a utopian dream, but it's not, because I did it, and if I can do it, why can't you do it? And the reason I did it is because I watched on YouTube plenty of other people doing the same thing. There's this guy, Elliot Hulse. He has a whole YouTube channel called the Non-Job Channel, or something to that effect. And it's all about people dropping out of a situation that they no longer prefer. It no longer aligns with their highest aspirations, and therefore they drop out and then press forth on a new path. And many of them end up acquiring far greater heights and levels of success than they previously had in that safe little job. And maybe that's what's going to happen with you. But I do know this for sure. If you're not doing something you like, then what's the point? What's the point of earning capital if you don't like your job? Because even though I have that flexibility, I still work my ass off. That's a big misconception. I think a lot of people look at successful people and think that they've made it, quote unquote, as in already have done it, are there, established. But people who make it only make it because they've integrated a lifestyle of hard work. The difference is businessmen and entrepreneurs, they invest their time. They don't just give their time away for a paycheck. That's not an investment, because you're only as good as your last paycheck. And then if you don't go into work, you're done. The cash flow stops. I like to do things that will make me passive income and make me things down the line, things that where it's very hard work, but there's a greater payoff, an exponential payoff. So that's my own angle. Maybe it doesn't mean that for you. Maybe it just means getting a different job or a different boss or a different location. You know, all these things are possible. It's just the fearful mind is what keeps you away from that. You think, well, geez, I can't just quit my job. What am I going to do about money? What am I going to do about this? I got bills to pay. I don't think anyone's hiring. That's all fearful chattering in your brain. And as long as you listen to it, you're not going to ever do anything. So I suggest you start to ignore the chatter in your brain, especially when it's fear-based, and start to let your heart and your intuition and your inner guidance be the guiding compass in your life. And if you do that, and if you continue to do that with diligence, then your life will begin to blossom and unfold in ways that you right at this moment probably can't even begin to fathom. The miracles and the synchronicities and all the amazing things that start to just kind of pop into your life once you start going with your inner flow, and there's no longer that dissonance and dichotomy between your brain and your inner guidance. Okay, it's not your fault that you ended up where you are, but now at this point, especially having watched a video like this, it's your choice, and it's all on you. What are you going to do about it? With that, I will close. Peace. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please give me a like. I'm trying to grow my YouTube page. I'm trying to share my experiences to help other people, and because there are other people doing the same thing, talking to me on YouTube, and that really helped me a lot. So I feel I want to give back, because I've gotten to a point where I feel like I have come a long way, and I'm in a position now where I can start assisting others. So again, give me a nice thumbs up, a nice comment if you enjoyed this, and also share the page if you liked it that much. Thank you.